Today's topic, how to let go of resentment. What is resentment and why is it so dangerous for you, for your health, for your physical health, your emotional health, and for your ability to manifest your dreams? Resentment is the chronic bitterness that you feel after being treated poorly or because you think you've been treated poorly. And I work with coaching clients who have been abused as children, abused as adults, betrayed, cheated on, disappointed. And I also have a lot of personal experience with resentment. For example, there's one person in my life who I had a lot of resentment for, and now our relationship is healed. And I want to be 100% honest and open to you. There's also one person who had a lot of resentment towards me because of what I did when I was at a low level of consciousness. And now our relationship is also healed. So in other words, I have forgiven and I've been forgiven. I hope that was grammatically correct. So I was the one who forgave somebody who did something wrong to me, and somebody else forgave me because when I was at a very low level of consciousness a couple of years ago and a very low vibration in a very dark place, did something that they forgave me for. And that's what I want you to realize, that you can forgive and you can also be forgiven. There's nothing that's stopping you. The only thing that's stopping you right now, and I know that sounds a little bit harsh and you probably don't want to hear this, but the only thing, or let's say the only person who's stopping you from letting go of your resentment is you. You have to realize that your negative emotions don't hurt the person you resent. They only hurt you. This is the biggest emotional misconception that we human beings make. We think, I can't forgive this person. No, this person did something terrible to me. And while we then look at this person or just think about this person, we wish them something really bad. And we think, even if it's just a subconscious thought or a feeling, that by holding resentment against this person, that this is what we should be doing. Because our logical mind says something bad happened, this person is responsible, and that's why as a result I can't forgive and I should be resentful. But what we often don't realize is that the only person that we hurt with this mindset is ourselves. The other person might not even care about it. I mean, for example, if you've been abused by a narcissist, you might have resentment against this person, and even if this person knows that you are full of resentment, this person will be happy about it in their low level of consciousness. They will enjoy it as a victory. The only person that you are torturing is yourself. It doesn't make him or her sick, it makes you sick. You don't mess up his vibration or his ability to manifest. You only mess up your own vibration and your own ability to manifest. And that's what I want you to embrace. I want you to take responsibility and say, my negative emotions that I feel right now don't hurt the person who I have resentment towards. They only hurt me. And now you can make the choice to not be a victim anymore. You have to understand that you are not a victim of your past. Your future can be completely different. I mean, I just have to look at my own life. A couple of years ago, I was full of self-hate. I had moments in my life, if you've read, for example, I think I described it in great detail on the presentation page of my 11 Days to Manifestation Mastery program. You can read the story about how I almost jumped while standing on a tiny, tiny balcony. And I used to be in a state of self-hate, of depression, of resentment, of anything but love. Like I didn't even know how love feels. The first time I tried to open my heart, I felt nothing. I didn't cry for 10 years. That has been my reality for most of my life. But now I'm in a completely different place. And I'm only in a completely different place because I let go of the resentment towards others and of the resentment I had towards myself for doing something towards others that I would never ever do again now that I'm in a completely different vibration and on a higher level of consciousness. And I am not a victim of my past in the same way as you are not a victim of your past. No matter what happened to you, if you continue to tell yourself the same story over and over again and you always live in the past, then you will just manifest again what you've experienced in the past. But if you change your story and if you change your past into your future by no longer talking about the past, by no longer feeling in the past, by no longer thinking in the past, then change can happen. And this is what happened to me. This is what happened to a lot of my coaching clients who got over resentment and who were able to let go of resentment. And this is also something that can happen to you if you make this decision. But it's a conscious decision that you have to make. And now you might be saying, yeah, but how do I do this? How can I change from a place of resentment to a place of love? It's daily practice. I wish I could just tell you that you can say one line to the universe and boom, sunshine will come down and you will be enlightened. I mean, there are people out there who claim that that's how it works for them, but I believe in consistency. No matter if you go to the gym and you want to change your body, if you want to build a successful business, or if you want to let go of resentment. And that's also something that Dr. Bruce Lipton explains when he talks about the 2 ways how you can change your subconscious mind and your beliefs, and by doing that, your life. It's either hypnosis, which is something that if you, for example, want to manifest more money, I, in a sense, hypnotize you with my 6-week guided meditation program, Money Manifestation Magnet. That's hypnosis. But the other part is repetition. And what you've probably done, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, for the last couple of years, which is completely normal, it's a completely normal human behavior, is that you always repeated the story from the past and you always created, or let's say recreated, these feelings of resentment. And as a result, you can never let go of it because it's a daily habit. You feel resentment, you think resentment, you are resentment. But if you change your thoughts and you change your emotions, you then, as a result of that, become another person. It might take a few days, it might take a few weeks, it might even take a few months, but eventually you will become another person, especially if you practice open your heart every day. And when it comes to opening your heart and the effect that opening your heart has, the effect that creating brain and heart coherence has on your life, I always think about this one story that I heard about when I watched one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's workshops. He talked about a woman who was raped by 3 men. And her whole life she was struggling with resentment, with anger, with frustration that then eventually resulted to physical symptoms, which then brought her on this journey of healing. And Dr. Joe Dispenza talked about her in this workshop, that at some point she just blew her heart so wide open that all the resentment and all the anger and all the hate basically blew out of her heart, and the only thing that was still there was love and forgiveness. And I know it's hard to imagine, especially in such an extreme situation, but opening your heart and connecting with your heart and feeling love, and yes, you can create the emotion of love out of thin air. I mean, hey, you are here listening to the Affirmation to Manifestation podcast. You know that you can create emotions. You know that you can create thoughts. If I ask you, for example, what would it feel like to love fully? And you then try to connect with your heart. The first time you try it, you might think to yourself, I don't really feel anything. But if you try it over and over and over again at some point, and I know that from my own experience, and I know that from so many amazing deliberate creators who I've coached, at some point it will make click. And there will be a difference, and this is the start of your new life. And if you want to work with me on creating your new life, on manifesting amazing things, and on healing from trauma, then you can click on the second link in the description or go directly to affirmationtomanifestation.com/Skype and find out more about Skype coaching with me. I would love to help you, to coach you, to get to know you, and to just guide you to the next level of your spiritual journey. And if you want to work with me, like I said, the link is in the description. And then realize that you have the power to change your thoughts and emotions. And then I invite you to raise your vibration every day. And that's also why I decided to include the Vibration Rocket Meditation as a free bonus if you decide to invest in my 11 Days to Manifestation Mastery program, which is something that you can find out more about if you click on the first link in the description, or you go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/11days. Raising your vibration every day will change your mood, and it will change your life, and it will put you in a position where you become a vibrational match to amazing things that you can then manifest. And yes, you can also manifest healing, because when you improve your vibration, when you boost your vibration sky high, then you are vibrating at a frequency where you can see the signs from the universe, where you can get the impulses, where you can receive the synchronicities and experience the synchronicities. And as a result, you will then be guided to your journey of healing. And that might be different for everyone else. And this journey can differ from person to person. I mean, maybe you want to work with me on your healing. Maybe you want to work with a therapist. Maybe you first want to work with a therapist and then with me. Maybe you don't want to work with anyone and just with yourself. It's totally okay. I, for example, when I started my journey of healing and I raised my vibration, suddenly I had an impulse to go somewhere. Suddenly I had an impulse to sign up somewhere. I mean, for example, I met a woman on a dating site and we didn't really have a connection in a dating sense, but we then became friends and she introduced me to the first therapist I was then working with. I mean, you can't make these things up, but that's the universe showing you and guiding you where to go. And if you raise your vibration, then you can be receptive to this guidance. And then I want to share a very, I would say, extreme and weird exercise with you. But in my experience as a coach, this exercise can be really powerful and maybe you want to give it a shot. And what I invite you to do is to let go of the past by burning it down. For one last time, try to go in these emotions and thoughts. One last time before you make the conscious decision with a firm intention that you no longer go there and that you become a new personality and eventually a new person. I want you to see this as a symbolic act. Write a letter to your old self when the reason for your resentment happened. It can be your child self if something happened in your childhood. It can be your younger self. No matter when it happened, write a letter to this person at this stage of your life. And then write this letter with the most comforting and loving and supportive thoughts that you can think of. As if you had a conversation with your old self. And in this conversation, you try to soothe your old self, you try to make it feel better, you try to give it the love that it didn't receive at this point in their life. You try to communicate the love you feel for your old self. And then, when the tears are flowing, and I almost guarantee you they will be flowing, at some point, if you have the feeling that some healing happened, then you burn this letter as a symbolic act that you will now become a new person. And that's how you let go of resentment. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please send out some love to the YouTube universe by giving this video a big thumbs up. And I would also appreciate it if you would leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about my video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to click on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you.